On the issue of the nuclear negotiations with Iran, Republican senators have finally taken it too far. Now, what they've already done is fucked up. I mean, they brought in the leader of a different country to bash the president while the president is currently working on a peace deal. They brought him into Congress and were like, okay, go ahead, bash our president and we'll cheer you really loud. While undermining something which is not only good for America, but good for the world because it's more stability and, you know, we're making it so that there's a much lower chance of war and we're making it so that Iran won't get a nuclear weapon. There's a million and one reasons why it's a great thing that we're sitting at the table with Iran, but the Republicans say, no, let's bring in the person who we want to be our president, who's the leader of Israel, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, and let's have him bash the president and the deal at the same time. So they've already gone really, really, really far, but it's actually gotten worse. There's a report out from Reuters today which says the following, quote, Republican senators warned Iran on Monday, they sent a letter to Iran, that any nuclear deal made with U.S. President Barack Obama could last only as long as he remains in office. Reuters refers to this as an unusual intervention into U.S. foreign policy making. The letter, signed by 46 U.S. senators, says Congress plays a role in ratifying international agreements and points out that Obama will leave office in January 2017, while many in Congress will remain in Washington long after that. So here's some of the text of the letter. We will consider any agreement regarding your nuclear weapons program, by the way, that doesn't exist, but nonetheless they throw it in there, that is not approved by the Congress as nothing more than an executive agreement between President Obama and Ayatollah Khamenei. The next president could revoke such an executive agreement with the stroke of a pen, and future Congresses could modify the terms of an agreement at any time. So this is just outright sabotaging the deal, where they're saying, even if you get a deal which might be great in terms of the specifics of the deal, we're not going to listen to it anyway. The second that Obama gets out of office, boom, the agreement is gone with him. Okay, this is absolutely unprecedented. This is like Reagan making peace with the Soviet Union, and which became Russia, and saying, hey, when he leaves office, when he's out of office, us Democrats are not going to agree to the terms of the peace deal reached. I mean, this is like, you name it, all the different treaties and peace deals throughout history from all these different presidents. That's like the opposite party saying, whenever this person leaves office, we're going to get rid of that. I mean, imagine like with Jimmy Carter, how he negotiated a peace between Israel and Egypt. Imagine, you had the Republicans do this then. Say, well, look, the peace between Israel and Egypt is only going to last as long as Jimmy Carter is in office. The second he's out of office, sure, Israel can go attack Egypt and Egypt can go attack Israel again, and we want that to happen. And we'll push you in that direction and make sure that happens. Think about how dangerous that is, and think about how backwards that is. Look, the reason why this is so amazing is that it's like they actively are pushing to not live in a world with peace. It's like they literally, not only do they want war, but they want to put you and me and our kids in an environment and in a country that is much more vulnerable. They're making the American people less safe. They're, of course, making the people in Iran less safe. They're making people all around the world less safe because they're just, no matter what they say no. Even the idea of sitting down and having a conversation and having a discussion with somebody who we disagree with, to them, no, never. Don't ever do that ever, 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 ever. So therefore, the only thing that they support is violence. And then ironically, what do they always say about other people? They turn around and say, the only language that these ISIS people speak is the language of violence. That's all they know. And they'll say that about all their other enemies. But you're the ones who literally are doing that. You're sending a letter to Iran and saying, even if you guys make a perfect peace deal with all great terms and it prevents you from getting a nuclear weapon and we loosen some sanctions or whatever, we don't care. We're not going to listen to it. We're not going to abide by it. So you, Republicans, are escalating the tensions and making it so that there's a much higher percentage chance that we're going to end up in some sort of a conflict. I don't think people understand how serious this is, man, because this is like borderline treasonous. You're making it so that I am less safe, you are less safe, our kids are less safe, that brave young American men and women who are in the military might be needlessly sent to that area of the world because these guys refuse to have a conversation and try to get to a real peace deal. We have a political party in America which actively tries to undermine and sabotage every single positive thing for the country. Every single positive thing. Whether it's Obamacare, which, increases health insurance and health care for millions of people, gets rid of pre-existing conditions, and it has a laundry list of good things. They actively try to undermine that. They actively try to undermine peace with Iran. They're actively trying to undermine peace with Cuba. They want to continue our stupid policy towards Cuba, which, by the way, the embargo affects people in Cuba tremendously and keeps a lot of them in poverty and strengthens the Castro regime. But nonetheless, they just say, fuck it, we don't care. Unless you 100% in every way, shape, and form bend to our will, we're not gonna deal with you.